When it comes to selling your home, there's only one thing that really matters: location. But second to that is a newly updated kitchen. Location is not really something you can do anything about. The kitchen, on the other hand. 80% of potential home buyers consider the kitchen the most important room in the home. When a home seller renovates their kitchen, they can expect a return anywhere from 53 to 81%. And according to the National Association of Realtors, 58% of buyers are willing to pay more for a home with a newly renovated kitchen, even if it's in a less desirable location. So, should you renovate your kitchen if you're planning to sell your home? Hi, I'm Mark, a 20+ year kitchen design professional, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to design a kitchen for a successful home sale and what the average homeowner is looking for in a renovated kitchen. Info will also help you design a very functional kitchen for you in case you decide to stay put. My normal advice for kitchen designing is to plan out a very personal layout that meets all your needs as a homeowner and forgets anyone else's needs. Because when it comes to your kitchen, no one else really matters. But if you're selling your home and the kitchen within, then everyone else matters a lot. You need to design a kitchen that is the most functional for the broadest amount of people. A very important statistic to keep in mind when designing a kitchen to sell is the average height of the potential new homeowner. The average North American woman is 64 inches tall, or 164 centimeters, with the average height of a man being 69 inches or 175 centimeters. This means there's approximately a third of a kitchen that is either hard to reach or completely unreachable. This same area is the prime real estate in a kitchen because it offers so much storage space. And the number one complaint I hear from clients about their kitchens, it's a tie. It's either they don't have enough usable counter space or they don't have enough accessible storage. Usually it's a combination of both. So it makes sense that these areas be addressed first. If you can solve this problem in your new renovation, it will make the kitchen more appealing to the potential buyer who likely already struggles with this problem in their current kitchen. So how do we accomplish this? Well, platform shoes. Well, that's one way. The other way is to make those areas more reachable. Installing a pull-out, fold-down stool, a toe kickstand, or some pull-down accessory are easy ways to give your renovation a huge lift. If your kitchen is designed right, these bells and whistles can really add a ton of value. Be sure to plan an item like this and consider the height of your potential buyer. Plus, these are not items that other homes your potential buyers are looking at will likely have, giving your kitchen a lot more appeal than the others. Solving your buyer's existing problems with simple solutions that have a big impact will not only get a better return, but a more usable and desirable kitchen. Now take this same design mindset and apply it to the reachable parts of your kitchen as well. The best way to do this is to add as many drawers and pullouts as possible. And think through specific items like spices, pots, trays, and small appliances. If you also solve these problems for your buyer, it will make purchasing your home much easier. Does your kitchen have proper spice storage? The best one to consider is a drawer insert. Is there ample room for pots, pans, and lids in an easy-to-access cabinet? Consider vertical storage for baking sheets and oven pans and muffin tins. And think about how small appliances are appropriately stored on the countertop without reducing usable space or creating clutter, as well as hidden appliance storage so that it's easy to access, such as a well-placed appliance garage or possibly an appliance lift. Since lack of countertop is one of the biggest complaints that I hear, it's important to remember an important fact. Many people looking at your home already have a clutter problem in their kitchen and on their countertops specifically. And while data is limited, I can tell you from over 20 years of site visits and pictures from clients, this is a huge issue. The benefit you'll have when showing your home and your new kitchen is the lack of clutter, so make sure it's not cluttered. How does this solve the countertop problem they face? Well, they'll instantly see a space with uncluttered countertop that's available for them, and they'll compare it instantly to what they're dealing with at home and conclude, this is way better. Whether or not it's actually enough counter space, it's irrelevant. If you show them the possibility and solve the countertop problem, you'll win a potential offer. When designing for function, you'll want to optimize for accessibility, efficiency, and flow. Meaning, how easy is it to get at every part of the kitchen? Does the layout keep tasks focused in specific areas or zones? And how do people move throughout the space as it relates to the kitchen and non-kitchen tasks? This is the epitome of functional space. And it sounds complicating. But in reality, it's not. Just break it all down in the planning stage. Look at every cabinet and determine how easy it is to use. If it's difficult, can it be improved with an accessory or a different cabinet? Then look at the different working zones. For example, the prep area, and see if it requires you to move all over the kitchen. Or can you stay put while working, and then look to see if there's potential traffic jams when people are coming in and out of the kitchen for things like throwing something in the trash or getting some bubbly out of the fridge. If you do these 3 things alone, you've already done 90% more than most home sellers in your area. Well, what about layout? Since we can't optimize for layout because every home is different, we can optimize the layout, meaning we can use principles that will work whether you have a one-wall kitchen, an open concept L, or a fully enclosed U-shaped kitchen with a peninsula. Think about the kitchen as a combination of zones. Be intentional with creating a prep cooking zone and a cleaning zone. And if the layout allows for it, create a social zone in the form of casual, comfortable seating, and maybe charging stations. While there are other zones, these are the most important to concentrate on for a home sale. A problem that some kitchens have is cabinet doors or appliance doors interfering with each other or drawers when it's in use. And this can easily be solved in the planning stage with your designer. The more of these little problems that you solve for your buyer, the harder it will be for them to resist your home. There are 2 specific areas I want you to consider: over the fridge and under the sink. Arguably the 2 hardest areas in a kitchen to get right. If you're going to splurge on a pull-down accessory, over the fridge is a great place to put it. How many homes do you think your potential buyer has toured that has one of these? And at the very least, put a cabinet floor liner in your sink base. It's a simple thing that has a lot of perceived value. Now, all this talk of function is great, but first impressions mean a lot when you're selling a home. While you want the kitchen to really smack them in the face when they come in, you also don't want it to smack them so hard they turn around and just leave. You want your kitchen to be appealing to the broadest amount of people. This is where the white or otherwise neutral kitchen palette really shines. According to the National Association of Home Builders, 81% of buyers prefer kitchens with a neutral tone. The neutral palette in the kitchen gives a sense of cleanness and freshness. Here are some other choices that are more universally appealing. Shaker doors, though I think you can't go wrong with a slim shaker. Classic hardware, finishes like brushed nickel or matte black. Large islands, preferably with seating. Quartz countertop, subway tile backsplash, and hardwood flooring. And I hate to say it, but a double sink. If you want to up the game a little more, consider panel-ready dishwashers and an apron front sink, and creating a little wow factor around the range. These options might sound a little mundane, redundant, or even boring. The great thing about a neutral canvas in a kitchen for sale is you can add removable elements to create a visually appealing space for the buyer. You want them to feel like they're walking into an Instagram-worthy kitchen. Some elements that help will be bowls of lemons or limes, bottles of San Pellegrino, cutting boards, and a small bouquet of flowers. Resist the urge to add design elements that appeal to you, unless you are confident that they also are widely popular with people who might be looking at your home. Remember, the design needs to be as broadly appealing as possible. Now, there may be times or instances when it's more appropriate to design a kitchen that is stylistically detailed. If your home has a particular architectural or aesthetic flair, it makes sense that the kitchen fits into this pattern. However, it's still a good idea to consider the broadest appeal within that style. The housing market and what's expected for a home in your area is also important. If all the comparable homes have marble and you splurge on laminate, it might not be the best play. So pay attention to what other homes for sale have so you don't put yourself in a lower tier. But since you have the benefit of looking at all these comparables, use it to your benefit when designing your kitchen. It's likely the other kitchens don't have this level of detailed thought going into them. And no kitchen is complete without the very reason you are in the kitchen in the first place, and that's to use your appliances. Kitchens with new appliances that are all consistent in finish are 60% more likely to sell than those without. And again, the finish choice is pretty broad. Stainless steel is still the go-to finish for many homeowners, according to the National Kitchen and Bath Association. Appliance placement is crucial in every kitchen. I pay specific attention to the fridge because it will be the most used appliance. Its placement is important in the kitchen for non-users and kitchen users alike. So try not to bury the fridge within your design. Doing so will create unwanted areas of disruption for other task zones. There is one lesser appliance that we must cover. Many people still use microwaves, and it's an important detail to consider when you're designing to sell. But I want to warn you, do not put it above your range. This is the worst possible functional placement and least visually appealing location. Unless the kitchen footprint is small and the options are either have an OTR or nothing, then okay. But I'd still rather have no microwave. But for the sake of selling your home, making this appliance easy to use is important. So consider a waist to chest height placement, and if the space allows, there's nothing wrong with a countertop microwave. Ideally, you'll be able to place this in a separate wall cabinet or better yet, in a tall unit. The big issue with all of this is you won't want to sell the house after you've made these phenomenal changes. So, should you renovate your kitchen if you're planning to sell your home? The answer is yes. Now, if you want to push your buyers over the edge and start a bidding war, there is one more thing that you absolutely must have. This video will show you exactly that and how to implement it into your kitchen for a game-changing design. Whether you're designing a kitchen for your forever home or you need to make the best return on your investment for a home sale, my kitchen design solution may be able to help you save time, money, and headaches in the process. See the link below for all the details.